All right, welcome back. We're doing another one here. This time we're doing Spirit Shocks, Kookaburra Island. My name is Fia Gloss, and I'm just playing through all the SCREAMWORLD jam submissions. Just thought this would be a lot more fun and interesting for everybody than just me writing a long text review. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm just doing this like in my room. So I'm going to do annoying things like that and drink water because I'm a human being. All right, I'm feeling a little bit better today than I was yesterday, so my voice might sound a little less monotone and all that. Anyway, enough of that. Spirit Shocks, Kookaburra Island by Kitsch Digital. Ghost hunting for television is so naughties. These days, if you want to prove the existence of ghosts, it's just as much about that sweet social media influence as it is about the ghost hunting. Join YouTuber Susan Willis on her adventure to capture footage of Kookaburra Island's spirit population in this exciting twine adventure. So here we go. Authors Kitsch Digital, Lucy Decker. All right. So let's get this full screen here. Already, this looks similar to For Whom the Bell End Tolls. So I'm guessing this is just this is like a story style, or I forget what they call it. I always use Sugar Cube, but this might be a different one. Because this looks kind of similar to that one in terms of the layout and everything. All right, new game. All right, this music's not so far. I'm not crazy about the music. That last one was a loop of like 10 seconds. That's a little rough. This is also kind of my least favorite kind of music right now, but that's okay. We're just getting started here. So 60 minutes of tape remaining, so I'm assuming I'm going to have to record stuff. No items. Today is the today. For the last 48 hours, you have spent your time sitting on the porch of your house waiting for the postman to arrive. It has been slow going, mostly because it was the weekend. Your housemate, Cassie, had to explain to you that they wouldn't be delivering the parcels again until Monday. But just in case, you stuck to your guns, and with your laptop and an extension cord trailing out the kitchen window, you waited until the mosquitoes became too much and you had to retreat inside. For 2 days, you did this because at any moment your parcel might arrive, and today is the day. When the postman arrives, you nearly kiss him, you're so excited. He hands over your parcel and you almost forget to bring your laptop inside. You skip through the house and into the mess that is your room, whooping and cheering because your parcel has arrived. You open your parcel. I have said the word parcel quite a bit today, or just in this screen. All right, I'm already into it because I'm already feeling the character that I am, and this is something I usually fault interactive fiction for, but I am a person. I can tell there's some characterization happening here with this picture. There's characterization happening. I feel very much like a teen girl. You open your parcel. Inside is your brand new bullet speed 458B Ultra HD camera. It cost you an arm and a leg, not to mention 2 payday loans, selling your car, and using up the entirety of your life savings. But it was more than worth it for the bullet speed. Some features of the bullet speed include night vision, waterproofing, over 2 terabytes. 2 terabytes of hard drive space, 4,000 by 4,000 resolution. We're 1 by 1 here, not 16:9. That's out. 4:3. That's out. 1 by 1. Capable of withstanding over 1,000 newtons of force. Oh, that's excellent. Language settings that include English, French, German, Latin, New Testament Greek, and Klingon. You freely admit that the $10,000 price tag made you hesitant to buy. You had to just quit your job after all, but then you heard the personal testimony of Pope Francis, and you were finally brought around. Whenever I need to film the blasphemous parasites that infect God's creation, I always make sure to reach for my BS 458B. BS, all the proof you need. I am actually Catholic. And Pope Francis, of all the popes, I think, is probably the least likely to refer to people as blasphemous parasites that infect God's creation. But this is BS we're talking, so I'll allow it. You set up your camera. Without reading the instructions, you set up your new camera on top of a pile of unopened and overdue library books. After briefly wondering how you're supposed to turn the damn thing on, you manage to hit record and film your first video. Hey friends, it's your girl... Oh wait, sorry, I'm a YouTuber. Hey friends, it's your girl Susie, and this is the first ever Spirit Shocks. Let's film some shit. I almost got to be a YouTuber there. 20 seconds of dead air follows. In all your fantasies of running a successful paranormal investigation YouTube series, you only ever thought about the fame and fortune that comes with proving that ghosts are real, not the actual content creation. But you already know where your first video is going to be set. Should you film an introductory segment about Kookaburra Island, or should you film it once you get back? We're going to be a YouTuber. Nah, you can film that shit later. Fuck that noise. You'll film it later. Do you think Ryan Bergera just starts filming without a script? Hell no. He may have done the research and may have done the ghost hunting, but he makes sure to have a script in front of him before he starts blabbering on. Not me. You've done the research on Kookaburra Island, but you've yet to do the ghost hunting. It's nearly 3:30 p.m. If you want to get to Kookaburra Island before the last ferry, you better leave early. You pack up your camera and get ready to leave. You put your camera into your bag and prepare to head out before you realize how aggressively your stomach is grumbling. You better have something to eat before you head out. You should have breakfast. You sneak into the kitchen and over to the pantry. Just a note here. This music is really quite in your face, especially for what's going on. I might change it. It also loops weird, I just noticed now as I'm not talking. It has a weird loop. I would advise against this music, actually, personally. I don't know. Unless I, the character, I forgot my name already, Susie. Unless my character, this really represents her as a person, which I haven't gotten in the text yet, I would really change this. Unlike Cassie's orderly, almost library-like arrangement, your section of the pantry is somehow both overflowing and completely devoid of food. Looking around to make sure that nobody is watching, you sneak up to Cassie's shelf and steal 3 eggs from her full carton. She probably won't notice. With great difficulty, you manage to extract a frying pan from the tower of dirty dishes, rinse it, and cook Cassie's eggs. You gulp them down without even getting a plate, burning your fingers slightly as you pick them up from the pan, so not even using a fork. You place the greasy frying pan on top of the tower of dirty dishes. If you're going to make it to the ferry in time, you'll have to wash it later. You prepare to leave. Now that you're fed, you can leave the house. In a rush to make it to the ferry, you head straight for the front door. Ahem, says a voice leisurely. It's not even a cough. Cassie just said the word ahem, like me. Hey, you say. Trying to wipe the guilt off your face, you turn on the heel of your foot and attempt to meet Cassie's eye. She refuses to give you that simple pleasantry. Instead, she speaks without ever looking up from her book. Your dishes are still dirty. I thought they were your dishes, you reply. Oh yeah. You look around the room as ditzily as you can manage. I'll get around to that when I get back. I'm actually heading down to Kookaburra Island now, so I can finally start Spirit Shocks. Cassie shuts her book with a thwack. From the kitchen, you can hear dishes rattling from the shockwave. She glares at you and asks, "That stupid YouTube show?" Wow. Already haters are making me famous, and we haven't even started. That's the mark of a good YouTube show. Yet. Cassie is going to go on YouTube right now. She's going to be making the truth about Spirit Shocks, or The dark side of spirit shocks. And it's just going to be 20 minutes of her complaining about dishes. And it's going to get like 97,000 views. And people are going to bring it up to me all the time. All right, sorry. That stupid YouTube show? Yes. I thought you were looking for work. Defensively, you say, I'm allowed to take a break. Are you going to clean the dishes? When I get back. Have you paid the power bill? Well, no. Can you make next week's rent? Yes. Good. I won't have to change the locks while you're out. Cassie goes back to her book and does not say another word. You stand there awkwardly, wonder whether you should try and defend your wounded honor. After a while, gawping like a guppy fish, you decide it would be best just to leave. You leave. Alright, good. Got a music change here. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm drinking so much water, guys. I have like a sore throat right now. It's been awful. Apart from one stretch of the long and bumpy bus trip to the ferry, where a suspicious-looking old lady knitted a seemingly never-ending scarf, you never once put away your camera. Oh, what? 8 minutes of tape remain. Oh my goodness. I was actually concerned about this at the start, that I was going to not do this effectively, but it seems like my character is already doing that for me and making me not look as incompetent as I would if it were my choice. You've never had anything better than the camera on your phone before, and your mind races at all the possibilities the BS can bring. That's everyone here. Yeah, I feel that. You may be inexperienced, but you have a passion, and that's got to count for something. You film anything and everything you can see on your way to the ferry, fiddling with all sorts of settings to get the best picture. Unfortunately, while on your ferry ride, as you are trying to filming the sun setting over Sydney Harbor, you notice with some shock that the battery is nearly dead. According to the camera's estimates, you still have around 6 minutes of filming left before it goes dead. You're already on the ferry, the last ferry of the day in fact, so you can't turn around and recharge it. You'll just have to be very selective with what you end up filming. Put your BS away and wait for the ferry to arrive. The decaying watchtower of Wellington Penitentiary is visible long before the otherwise short and flat island that it rests upon. It is an ugly, pre-brutalist prick thrusting into the sky. Although the state seems to have made a half-hearted attempt to keep the structure upright with a lattice of decrepit blue scaffolding hugging it tightly, it leans ominously over the ocean. You wonder if maybe a gust of wind could blow it down, a flock of pigeons take flight from its crow's nest. As the ferry approaches the island, you can make out the rest of the prison complex. As opposed to the more modern materials of the watchtower, the rest of the prison is built from Sydney sandstone, and it looks like it could outlast the end of the world. Yet, it has seen better days. Writ large over the structure so that all the harbor traffic could see it, someone has penned in a bold communist red, "Eat the rich. Fuck Adani." I don't know what Adani is, I'm afraid. Sorry. Beneath it, in smaller and less legible graffiti, someone has scrawled, "Eat these nuts." Alright, I get that one. Beneath the fortress-like prison, the rest of the island looks to be little more than gum scrub. Leave the ferry. I think this might be another situation where I don't know as much about Australia as I should, and so I'm already feeling bad if I'm missing something. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, sorry. You are the only person who gets off at the Kookaburra Island ferry wharf. Even the ferry driver looks at you strangely, as though wondering what on earth could lead a girl like you to spend your night here. A string of sodium streetlights brighten the way from a tiny wooden wharf to a squat red brick building nestled in between some eucalyptus trees. a black shape against a purpling sky, the Wellington Penitentiary looms over the island. You stand on the pier and watch as the ferry drives away. You better buy your ticket. In the window of the administration building, you can see a cheap and tacky neon sign flashing the word open at you. You open up the rickety screen door and arrive in a white room lit by dull fluorescent lights. Okay, let me just do a little pause here. I really like how much detail of these areas is happening. A lot of times with text adventures, people adopt a sort of, especially with Twine, they adopt a like less is more. This is giving me such a great amount of detail that my mind can already kind of conjure what this looks like without it bogging down the story. I just wanted to throw it out there that like this is kind of for me anyway, this is like the perfect amount of detail. I just want to know the important parts of this room that give me a sense of tone to the rest of the room. And that's what describing things like the white room lit by dull fluorescent lights, the red brick, the salt lights on the way, that's super cool. Explaining the lighting, I would say, is probably the best way to kind of tell you the tone of the room without spending an entire paragraph explaining every little detail. I once read this old book called The Hypnerotomachia Polyphili. It's the struggle for love in a dream. And that book has like 120 pages of explaining an architectural thing of a room or a building. And it's not good literature. So I really like this. This is great. This is, I'm really happy to see this. It's getting me into it. The walls seem to dance slightly in the light. Around the corners of the room, there are a number of plastic plants trying their hardest to become verdant and real. See what I'm talking about? That tells you all you need to know about the room. That's what's great about it. Behind a desk at the far end of the room, there is a large, turbaned man in a blue guard's uniform, scribbling furiously away in a notebook. The tag on his shirt says that he's named Urshavir. You walk up to the counter and try and buy a ticket. You decide you want to see the wharf again. Ooh. Yeah, let's go to the wharf again. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So one thing that's neat about this is going back, it spares me some of the details of the room since I've sort of already understand it and just gives me the relevant detail to where I'm entering. Buy a ticket. The moment you open your mouth, the guard jumps, slamming his knees into the table and his head against the wall. He winces and says something quickly in a language you don't recognize. Let's just apologize. That's fine. No, I am the one who should apologize, he says quickly, snapping shut his notebook and removing his round reading glasses. I did not realize the ferry had arrived. How may I help you today, miss? He asks. Let's ask what he was writing. I should probably read these. You asked to buy a ticket to the camping ground? Have you ever seen any spiritual phenomena on the island? I'm guessing this should be in quotes, like I'm asking it. You ask, what were you writing when I came in? I've got to go now, you say. Yeah, I'm just saying that because with things like this, it's always good to have a consistency. And so this needs to be like, you ask if he's ever seen any spiritual phenomena on the island, or you ask, have you ever seen any spiritual phenomena on the island? It's just, when you're making choices like this, the more consistency you can get, the better. It just makes it feel more, it's just more consistent. So let's ask if he's seen any spiritual phenomena. He laughs. Miss, the only ghost I have ever seen had Patrick Swayze. Why do you ask? You explain. Oh, I wish I didn't have to explain my YouTube show to him. He sounds both impressed and vaguely confused before a troubled expression crosses his face. Please hold on 1 second. You're not going to try and break into the penitentiary, are you? You say that you would never break into the penitentiary. Nope, I'm just here because, I like sleeping in tents. Of course I am. You will be able to see the footage on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's let's try this one. Urshavir arrests you. Seriously, what did you expect would happen? However, it turns out that he is a really lovely guy. He spends much of the night reading passages of his novel to you. Despite being so angry with him, you have to admit his novel is pretty good. He doesn't have the authority to legally charge you. He is just a security guard after all. He's just going to let you out once dawn arrives and you can get on the next ferry off the island. While you're only in a little trouble, the thought that spirit shocks cannot start tonight churns your stomach, and you have to fight the urge not to yell at him. You have a long, unsettling night and obediently hop onto the ferry in the morning. Urshavir sends you off with a box of cookies and a demand that you never, ever come back. You go home. But you're not done yet. Kookaburra Island may have been a bust, but you've got plenty of other places to go exploring. Once you make it home that morning, you pull down your copy of Haunted Sydney from your shelf and begin flicking through all the pages. It's not until Cassie bashes on your door and demands you clean the dishes that you look up from the book. Would you like to try again? Yes, of course. Sorry. I obviously, we all knew that was going to happen, but I like it when you get to decide to do something silly like that. No, I'm just here because I like sleeping in tents. Okay, he replies, a little confused. Can I help you with anything else, he asks. What were you writing when I came in? His eyes bulge slightly as his dark skin turns by shades red, white, and green. Nervously, he stammers, Nothing. I was just reading. Oh, I could have sworn I saw you writing something before. He blanches and hurries on. Before I can let you go to the camping ground, I need to ask you a couple of questions. Please do not worry if there are any issues. If you confess now and hand over the items, you will be allowed to go through. Did you bring any drugs or alcohol with you? No. Did you bring any weapons with you? Does an iron pen count? You ask yourself before saying no. Do you intend to do anything illegal during your time here? Of course not. I just like campfires. Okay, he replies, a little confused. Can I help you with anything else? He asks. You ask to buy a ticket to the camping ground. You hand over $20 and he hands you back a small card emblazoned in fine calligraphy. It reads, for a one-night stay at Kookaburra Island. I designed them myself, he says bashfully. All right, I've got to go. We can always go to the wharf. Yeah, well, let's go to the gift shop. Shelves full of junk line the walls of the gift shop. Hardly anything has to do with Wellington Penitentiary. Mostly you see the stuffed kangaroos and koalas, Australia keychains, and yellow and green thongs that stock up most tourist shops. Okay, I'm pretty sure pretty sure thongs mean sandals in America speak. Otherwise, this is quite the gift shop. You walk back into the admin building. All right, well, let's go to the prison. I mean, we're not even going to try and pretend we're going to the campground. Wellington Penitentiary reminds you of a cross between a fortress and an asylum. You can't help but think about the poor souls who would have been locked within, pushing their arms through the bars and grasping for the buttery early morning sunshine, or the chocolatey night sky. Your stomach growls. I was just about to say, are we hungry or something? When did you eat last? See, that's good. I like that. The buttery early. You know, this is like, you know, I complained about the music earlier, but like, this is really good at characterizing me as, you know, this YouTuber girl. I like it. I can totally get into it. She seems fun. She seems fun and irresponsible, which is, I think, what you're supposed to be when you're young anyway. I'm an old man now, so those days are long gone for me. But, you know, I would have been just like this, I think, if I had been a teenage girl and YouTube was a big thing. The 3 stories loom above you like a cliff. The monotony of the sandstone bricks, broken only by dark barred walls. A large double-doored gate lies open, inviting you in from the night with the promise of artificial lights. I'm going to save again. Just because, you know. Well, let's just head inside. Even though I'm hungry, let's just go. It's like when you're hungry or when you actually need food are very different things. I had 3 eggs, guys. It's fine. The last few tourists are busy heading for the exits as you walk into the room. You're standing in a long, low-ceilinged room. Ahead of you lies a large courtyard. To your left are 2 doors. You decide to head into the prison courtyard. The courtyard is a wide square surrounded on all sides with cliff-like buildings paved with sand and pebbles. Even with the mounted lights on the wall, it's already dark and it feels as though you're walking through a purple fog. The courtyard is a wide square surrounded on all sides with cliff-like buildings and paved... Oh, what's going on? Oh, okay. This might be just one of those situations where an if tag or something is not closed. At the center of the courtyard is a large wooden gallows growing tree-like towards the sky. At the top right corner of the courtyard is a small tin-roofed shed. No signs denote its purpose. To your left are several unisex porta potties arranged in neat rows. Let's go to the porta potties, guys. Let's do it. You climb into the porta potty, lock the door, and pull down your pants before you sit on the seat. Oh, okay, I guess we're doing this. You always feel uncomfortable if you wear pants on toilets, like you might shit yourself if you relax too much. More because of boredom than any need, you pee. What else are you going to do in the bathroom? Would you like to hide here? Nah, let's leave the toilet. Yeah, okay, so it looked like maybe there was just an if statement or something that was closed. If it's my first time, then it was supposed to display that instead of this. Alright, let's head to the shed. The door to the shed is unlocked and you easily slip inside. You pat the walls around the door for a light switch, but finding none, you flick on your flashlight. Inside are shelves filled with jars of nuts and bolts, racks of whippersnapper shears and bolt cutters. There's even a large ride-on lawnmower in the center of the room. You leave the shed. Why is it asking me if I want to hide? Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Let's go to the camp, I guess. More from curiosity than from any genuine desire to keep your cover, you travel down to the camping grounds before you head to the prison. You pass through overflowing subtropical forests of river gums and rusty figs. Up above you, you can see Caledonian pines breaking from the native forest. You come out in a quiet camping ground with pre-built white tents set up in rows like tombstones. With the exception of a stoner couple conspicuously trying to look inconspicuous, you see almost no campers here. Let's talk to them. Okay, drugs aren't cool. Alright, drugs aren't cool. Okay, I don't know if I think I've sort of put myself yeah. So I seem to have gotten myself stuck here. Let's load an earlier save. Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, I was really enjoying it. It still kind of feels like it hasn't quite started. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, this must be some kind of error or something. I guess let's see if anyone else has had this issue by any chance. I was enjoying it. Yeah, no one's posted comments. Okay, well, Spirit Shocks Kookaburra Island. I like the setup so far. I am excited to kind of see where it goes. You know, if that is all the content that there is right now, just putting up a little. Oh my goodness, let's actually go back. If that is what there is, maybe just put in some kind of note to let the player know, like, hey, this is what we got to. It is only, 10 days. It doesn't say when it was submitted or how much time it had left. But I like the setup. I'm into my character. I like the idea, even though it hasn't been utilized in how much I got. I like the idea that you have sort of a limited amount of recording space, and you're sort of fame desperate to get the best footage for the night. That could be a really fun mechanic of if something scary happens, like, should you record it, or is it just your character freaking out over nothing? That's kind of fun. I like that. As for the music and sound, I have to say, like, I don't know if that's just kind of what's available or somebody's working on that. I can't stand it at all. The music, I almost wish that there was no music, because that's how much I sort of dislike it. It sounds like old school MIDI, and it's on a loop of just a few seconds, and then the songs play for a really long time, and it doesn't really add anything thematically. It's just noise in the background. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little silence here or there. It's totally okay for that to be quiet sometimes. And I know in Twine, at least in Sugar Cube anyway, I don't know what this story format is, what it's called. I don't know if this one has as like robust an audio as Sugar Cube, but Sugar Cube, you can even put the volume for it, and like, I mean, I would just say take it out at this point, but I mean, it just doesn't add anything to it. And I mean, I get that it's kind of supposed to be a comedy, but it's really hard to get yourself all excited about Kookaburra Island when you're listening to the same MIDI loop for 10 minutes or 5 minutes straight. It's like it's just not, just don't like it. I won't go on about it. But I would say take that out personally. But everything else, it's well written. There's a couple editing things I tried to pause at that just need to be fixed. Just a couple times where it's like the same word repeated, and couple sentences that's missing a word or uses the wrong word. Totally happens. Like almost impossible to get that on a first go around to catch all of those. I had 5 people play my first game before I released it, and I still found spelling errors, and I still had players find spelling errors after I went through it for the 7th time. It's just difficult to find all of those, but hopefully just me pausing on them will help you find which passage it's on and just fix those. But it wasn't distracting or anything. There was a couple sentences that were maybe a little bit of a run on, and I'm not a grammar guy. As long as I can understand what's happening and what people are saying and what the story is conveying, then that's good enough for me. I chalk everything up to style. So just a couple sentences that felt a little long and meandering, that kind of paused everything to finish that sentence before going on. Yeah, so I'd be excited to see where this goes. I would be excited to see if this is a game where it actually starts to get scary, or if it stays kind of like humorous through to the end. I would actually prefer it actually got scary, and here you fall in love. You not fall in love, but you start really getting friendly with this main character, and you're just like, oh, I could feel this. I was this goofy at a point in my life too. And then to have that character thrust in some real scary, dangerous situations, that's totally cool. But they probably already have an idea, Lucy or Kitsch Digital, or if it's one person or more, I don't know. So I'd like to see more, and hopefully this isn't just going to be abandoned. There's a lot of work put in this so far that it'd be cool to see it put into some kind of finished state. And, if there is more to it and I just somehow got the right combination of things to make it stop for some reason, or if that's a bug, let me know. And, let me know on Twitter or whatever, at FiaGloss here. There's a link to my Twitter on here as well, I think. Just let me know and I'll give it another go around. I can't promise I'll record it, but I would love to actually play through to the end and then even give some more notes. But yeah, so that was Spirit Shock's Kookaburra Island. Pretty good. Well, no, good. Very good. Very good start. Excited to see where it goes. All right, so hope that was helpful. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll be doing the next one, whatever the next one is. I do these randomly, so let's see what comes up. I'll give this one a rating, and then we'll move on. So thanks for watching. I'll see ya.